Welcome to WhatGear for my 6 months later Blink XT2 review. Right now you're watching me on my Echo Show 8 in my living room and I'm freezing my ass off out here. Are you ready? Let's go.
The Blink XT2 is Amazon's very own wireless camera system, and I've been using it for 6 months now, and you're probably wondering, how are they holding up and how good are they and how long do the batteries actually last? So let's get into it. Out of the box, it was incredibly easy to set up. I actually made a video about that. It took me about 40 minutes the first time, but I've actually set up some of these for other people since then, and I can actually do it in about 10 to 15 minutes now, so it's very easy to set up. The cameras themselves are very compact, very discreet, and when they're outside, it's hard to notice them until they actually wake up and start recording. So that's a good feature as well from a security standpoint. In terms of the water resistance, both of my cameras have been outside the entire time. It's been raining, it's been cold, it's been windy, and I've had no issues with water getting inside the cameras. So they're holding up really well in that area. In terms of the quality of the footage, it really depends on the settings you're using. I've been using the balance settings the entire time and it's good enough for me. I could actually set it to the higher quality setting if I wanted to, but I don't really feel I need to because the balance setting just works perfectly for me. One issue I did experience in the early days of using the cameras was actually getting lots of false detections from like trees and bushes and stuff like this, and the Blink app has a feature in there which allows you to fine-tune your cameras, zone out certain areas where you're getting loads of false triggers, and you can even go into the advanced setting there and actually break those little squares down into even smaller squares, which means you can be really accurate where it's picking up detections. So I've done that, I've customized it, and ever since doing that, I don't get as many false triggers, which is a great thing. However, with that said, from time to time, spiders may crawl across the front of the camera, and if that happens, unfortunately there's nothing you could do about it. The Blink XT2 are not impervious to the forces of nature, unfortunately. So one thing that's really important with any wireless camera is how quickly do they notify you. I have had cameras in the past where someone would trigger it, I wouldn't see the clip until after they've gone, and that causes a problem. But with the Blink XT2 cameras, they're very quick. When they're triggered, pretty much immediately it pops up on the phone with the recording and a little screenshot of what actually happened when it triggered as well. So that's really good. In terms of speed of delivering the notifications and being able to load up the video, is very fast. I haven't had any issues with that. Now, one really useful feature that I've been using quite a lot is the ability to listen and speak through the cameras. And that's actually why I bought the Echo Show 8, because I actually want to see from my living room without having to get my phone out. So basically what I can do when I pick up a detection at the door, I can speak to the Echo Show, show me that door, and then I can hear and see what that person is doing at the side of my house, which is really handy for when I get deliveries and stuff like that and I want them to leave it in a safe place. And the fact that these are owned by Amazon means that they are Alexa enabled, which means any Alexa enabled device will work with the Blink XT2 system, which also includes a dash cam that I have in my car. So of course the app is really cool. No matter where you are, as long as you've got mobile data or Wi-Fi, you can bring up live view on your phone or even take photos. But check this out, this dash cam right here, this is a neck-based dash cam and it supports Alexa as well. So when I jump in the car in the morning, I can actually tell the dash cam to arm the Blink XT2 cameras before I leave the house. So that's a really cool feature that I've discovered in the last 6 months. Didn't know there was dash cams with Alexa. Now I do, and I actually did a review on this. If you want to check it out, I'll link that at the end of this one. The Alexa enabled features are really awesome, and of course you can set up some kind of automation with other stuff using the Blink cameras as well to secure your house. So it's fantastic. So I guess the big question is, how are the batteries holding up after 6 months? Do I think they can last up to 2 years? Well, the answer to that question is yes and no. So my back window camera quite rarely gets triggered, maybe a few times a day at most, and it's on the balanced camera quality setting with 15-second recordings. The illuminator is on the optimal setting, so I haven't adjusted that, and I honestly think that that camera will last up to the 2-year mark or very close to it. Now, the side door camera. This camera triggers so many times a day and the batteries have actually run out about 4 months down the line from using it, And the reason being, I use that door all of the time. Every time I let the dog out, every time I take the bins out, anytime I go into the garden, I have to walk past that camera, and it triggers so many times. And of course, when I get deliveries as well, I tend to ask them to leave them at the side door. So I use that actually with the live view and the voice chat as well through the camera. Of course, that's going to use up more power. So that camera has much higher usage, and in fact the Blink app actually warns me that this camera's being used a lot more, and actually gives you some advice on how to make it last longer. So there's some really simple stuff you could do. First one being just move the camera somewhere where it's not going to get as many detections. But the other things you could do is set it to the saver mode, which is going to lower the resolution, which means it's going to use less power to record video clips. You can adjust the IR illuminator, so at night it won't use as much power to illuminate the night with the infrared. You can set the clips to shorter length, so it doesn't record 15-second clips. You can set it to record 5-second clips, for example. And one other thing which Blink suggests is move the hub, which is inside the house, closer to that camera. Therefore, it won't have to use as much power doing that. Now, this is a really important thing you need to know about these cameras. If you are going to change the batteries, you must get lithium AA batteries. If you don't, you could damage the camera. And if you use regular batteries, they'll probably only last about a week, which is just a waste of money. So make sure you go and get the lithium batteries if you need to change the batteries on the cameras. At some point, you're definitely going to have to do it, whether it's 4 months or 2 years. It all depends on the location and how much traffic is going past the cameras. But 4 months on 2 AA batteries is still really impressive, and I can't complain. Like I said before, I've used other camera systems, battery operated ones, and they haven't lasted as long as the Blink. So I'm very impressed with the battery life. So 6 months later, would I recommend the Blink XT2 cameras to you? I absolutely would. They're so easy to set up. They're actually very affordable. You can have many of these cameras, not just on the outside of your house, but also on the inside of your house. And here's one really cool feature. If you are going to use them inside, is you can actually hardwire these, so battery is no longer an issue at all. So for example, if you want to set these up in a shop or something like that, you can have them hardwired, and basically you got a 24-hour camera there. One thing to keep in mind though is it is a cloud camera, so all of the footage it records will be stored on the cloud. But another great thing when it comes to this is Amazon don't charge you a penny for it. There's no subscription fee. So that's really awesome. If you guys want to check out the price on the Blink XT2 cameras, there's a link below this video. If you want to see my setup video, which I made when I first got these, there's a thumbnail on screen right now. Go check that out. If you enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. See you in the next one. Don't be late.